something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches! Welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay, and you're our listener.
Well, hey there, listeners.
Ho there, listeners.
Oh, it's Mew Mew, listeners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mew Mew.
As much as... it's so funny to me how often people are like, man, Thor's funny now. That was great. And I was like, I mean, they were little tiny pocket moments, but those movies, when they were funny, were really funny.
Yes. We all still call Mulgilner Mew Mew.
Mew Mew. Absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%. Welcome to Fix It. Hey, everybody. I am Jay. That's Adam.
Hello.
You may know us from the wildly popular The Convergence of All Reaction Content on the Internet Previewed. You may also know us from, your new. We were your paper boys when you were kids.
Yeah,
we were
we
delivered.
had a route. Yeah.
Yeah. We delivered your newspapers.
Were you ever a paper boy?
No.
I was for a hot second.
We didn't have paper boys. We had
Really?
It was a high schooler job.
Oh, okay.
There was like our newspapers got delivered by like groups of teens who would like get up at like 4:00 in the morning and like hop into whatever car and then like get it done. Like we didn't have paperboy like proper. Because I had some friends they worked for the newspaper and they would deliver papers, and they would always be like, they're like, I've been at school since 6, and I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, I delivered the papers, baby. And I'm like, well, but they also made cash.
Did they really?
They made money.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah. But
yeah, oof.
were you ever a paperboy?
A little bit, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not
Really?
a get up early paper boy.
Ah,
it was more like
just a late layabout.
But yes,
You'll get your papers when you get them.
Well, it was more of a community paper that didn't need to be delivered in the morning.
So it's a lot chiller. It's just kind of like, look, it's a community paper. Like it's mostly just us posting the pool hours.
Yeah, enjoy your Burke Center. What was it, the Connection, I believe it was.
Yeah,
there you go.
Hey, you guys want to join the kickball league? There's
go.
going to be a Pinewood Derby race and a chili cook-off. That's about it. What were we talking about? Oh, that's right.
We're getting to Thor, yes.
This is our podcast, Fix It, where every week Adam and I take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe just wasn't worthy to pick up the hammer, and we fix it. And today we're going to be fixing the second Thor movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor: The Dark World. You know how much the Dark World concept played into the overall storyline of this movie? You know how much time he spent on the Dark World? I think it was like 3.5 minutes. Somebody
the opening, there was a fight scene.
There's
and
the
that's
scene
it.
where they trick the bad guy, but then
Yeah.
he bails. And I was like, they've
Yeah.
been there for 1.5 minutes. This whole movie's called The Dark World, and we're like it's not even a part of what's going on.
Wow, it really is.
Because he tries to control the convergence from Earth, so it's not even like their Dark World doesn't matter. And I know they're trying to create the Dark Worlds, but then it should be the Dark Worlds, plural.
Huh.
I just don't. Yes.
Well.
Mm-hmm. We're fixing Thor 2, baby. I watched this with the Discord.
Yeah.
If you haven't joined the preview Discord, this is the perfect opportunity to do so.
Things are happening over there right now.
It really is a fun time to be on the Discord.
It is. Lots of things are happening.
Yeah, it's been great. Every Wednesday night, I watch along with the Peaches whatever we're watching that week, and they've been growing, and it's been really fun. I mean, they're obviously more attended when it's something streaming.
It's available everywhere.
When it's on Disney Plus like this, not
Mm-hmm,
and I don't have to be like, please rent Pacific Rim 2. Please, I'm so sorry. I have to watch it. I don't want to do it alone. I will say the watch-alongs keep me honest.
That's true.
Because I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Knowing me and knowing putting out a podcast every week, which I know, sounds like these content creators are so, but it is it's
Jay, as soon as we're done with this, I'm instantly going to start thinking about our next episode.
well,
Because I
Yeah.
have to start like researching a little bit, thinking about what's going on. Okay, what happened in the movie?
I know. I just sound lame. It sounds lame complaining about it because we are living our dreams. And
We
it's
are
not
absolutely
fun.
living the dream. But there is a little behind the scenes
And
work
we
that goes
also
into
haven't
this.
missed an episode. We've made an episode every week for
We
like
have.
a year and some change.
Yeah.
Anyways, but if
some of
I-
these movies are real
But if I
stinkers,
didn't
yes.
watch along with
Yeah.
the Discord,
Yeah.
there would be some that I'd try to sneak by having not watched.
I was
it.
like, wait a second. Did you just
early
read
on,
this on Wikipedia?
early on, there were some where I was like, yeah, I totally watched it. No, I know me. Look, this shouldn't come as a surprise to you in any capacity. But yeah, it was really fun. If you want to come join the watch alongs, definitely come watch along. But I was ready I was even telling the Discord at this time. I was like, I am ready to enjoy this movie. I'm coming with an attitude of like, I remember not liking this movie, but maybe it's been some time.
Yeah.
And we have the grand scope of everything, and I can kind of like take a step back and see it in the shape of the whole MCU writ large, and I can enjoy this movie. It did not pan out that way.
Oh no, it didn't.
If anything, it frustrated me more.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Because there are a lot of flashbacks to this movie from a Thor perspective.
yeah, from Endgame, yeah.
In Endgame, and I was like, oh yeah, they brought in Frigga and then fridged her. They really and Endgame really tried to like also lean into like, you had a special relationship with your mom. I'm like, that's funny. I don't remember her from the first movie basically at all. That's funny.
She was there in the beginning and
Wow.
the end.
And if anything, I walked away from this movie feeling more for Loki and his relationship to his mother, because that got more screen time than Thor and his mom.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is that? I'm assuming that's a large part of your fix today.
Maybe. Everyone who's listening has no idea what my face is right now, but maybe.
Yeah. But before we get into the nitty gritty of Thor: The Dark World, we're moving into my absolute favorite.
It's his
segment.
favorite.
My favorite segment of all time.
Don't
The
ask him
best
to
segment.
choose.
The
Don't ask him
best
to
segment.
choose.
We like to call it Roll for Convo. And it is a segment every week where Adam and I roll a dice, and our producer Brian, whom we absolutely adore.
Hate.
What?
See, I was gonna do something different with because this usually is like, Brian, we got your back. Your days are numbered. Like, didn't do the the subtle. I was changing the bit slightly.
No. I was ready to play ball with you.
Oh,
You just pulled the ripcord immediately.
dude, you gave me a look
I
like,
know.
wait, you hate Brian?
It's
no,
almost- I know.
no, you gave me the look like, wait a
I
second.
was processing,
Oh,
and I
okay.
was figuring out how I was going to play along, and then you went, nope.
Yeah, Jay, he's best friend number 1, and I'm 2. And you gave me a look like,
You went,
what did you
"Nope,
just say?
I'm out."
Oh my God. And I was like,
I
whoa.
will say,
Because there's some times where my intentions are good, but sometimes I catch you sideways.
it is a byproduct of my genius, Slashy, and that I'm normally so quick and fast.
Yes.
And so when I take just a beat, people have a tendency to panic.
Yes. Because you're such a pure soul, Jay, that yes, when you give me a look like, oh no, I actually wounded him. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but then I was gonna play.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I know. Now this is the bit.
Our producer Brian has given us 20 topics of conversation, but I don't think we're going to roll the dice. I think we're just going to deep dive into why Adam hates Brian so much. Look,
Because he's ahead of me in line,
I
Jay.
get it. Look, he got there first. I don't know what to tell you. That's how lines work.
I understand.
Yeah, it's, I just, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. All right, I'm going to roll this dice. We're going to pick what we're talking about at the top of the show. What are we talking about? That is a gentleman's 8.
Okay.
Also,
8.
isn't it fun that bonus action's out, and I make bonus action references that nobody was getting before, and now the people will understand them?
Yes.
That's fun.
It's also, since the whole first volume's done, and I have the whole first volume in my head, I need to make sure, like, I don't reference something that people haven't seen yet.
Well,
'Cause,
that's-
like, it's all in my head right now.
That's what's been happening with the strike, because, like, yesterday we were recording Rebels, and I was like, did we make this joke during this show? Or is it a show that's not out yet? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what to call back to right now, and I'm feeling kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Number 8. What's the most New York experience you've had while living here? Can I add a caveat to this question? Oh, and you know what? Brian already did it. God damn you, Brian! I'm gonna kill you.
No, no.
You define the New York experience, because I was gonna say maybe we can do a good and a bad. Brian already outthought me. Good and bad version. The good version of New York and the bad version of New York.
Ooh. Oh, you just that pause was pregnant. Wow.
Because I can tell you the most quintessential bad New York experience, at least for a guy. There was two. One, I was almost peed on 3 times on one subway trip.
What?
Through the city. Yes.
Okay.
I think it was with Amanda. We were coming back from something, and there were 3 different instances where on the platform of going from one, like especially in like Times Square, where we had to go down to another level to go walk to the A.
Yeah.
Was like, there was somebody who was just peeing on the platform and like peeing off into the staircase, and I'm like, oh boy, I just dodged that stream. Like, and there are 3 other places where people were urinating that I almost got caught multiple times.
Huh.
And it's like, well, this is New York.
Yeah.
But the top spot of horrible, at least for me, subway experiences that I've ever had on the city was with our friend Kevin, and we were coming back from, I think, a show, and we got on a C train, and there was a guy in this car who was just had some type of skin condition and was just itching and was like aerosoling his skin, and everyone was like
aerosolizing.
Yeah, he was just scratching. No,
I was like, is that the term?
Like maybe, but just everything was just kind of like not. It was just floating. Like everyone was like to as far away as possible.
I'm not breathing in your skin, dude.
Itchy skin is like one of those things. That's just like, no, thank you.
No.
I'm getting itchy just thinking about it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little weird.
Please no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. What about your?
I'm gonna think about my good one. You go.
Well, this wasn't. My rule of thumb is like, I think you are a New Yorker when you weep in public and you don't care for the first time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I had that. Yeah, mine true.
Yeah. When you just like really like you are just like you have a real human moment like on the phone or something happens and like you're on the subway or like you're walking down the street and you're just like, I'm crying because this is what's happening and I don't care that everyone can see me. Like that's like a full embracing of the fact that like you're very rarely alone in New York. Mm-hmm. Like there's not a lot of solitude. That's part of what gives the city its energy, but it's also can be exhausting at times.
Yeah.
I love living in New York. But I will be honest with you. Kimberly and I are going to be moving out to Jersey City soon, which I am very much looking forward to. Not looking forward to the move proper, but like having more space for the boy, and that'll be nice. I'm looking forward to just like, we were walking down some of the streets while we were checking out the neighborhood, and I was like, oh, it's quiet. I hate that I love that now, but I guess, wow, it's really quiet. But so that's, I would say like the worst, my like worst New York City moment wasn't even something that happened to me. I watched a woman get kicked in the head by a subway dancer. Like one of those guys like, it's showtime. Yeah,
baby.
She got kicked in the head. Like it is like there's no coming back from that. And like the best part, there's obviously no best part of it. She was fine. She was fine. It was like it wasn't like it was more, he wasn't putting the force on the leg, like he was doing like one of those spins around the pole.
Sure, yeah.
So like it was more of a
glancing
an
blow.
Aggressive graze.
Sure.
But still.
Yeah, still got a boot to the head.
The best part was like someone was like, as like that happened and they weren't great, and then like that one guy was like, all right guys, so like, and everyone just went, and some guy just went, no, you guys are done. Like no. And everyone's just like, yeah, everyone's fine. We're
no harm, no foul.
It's fine.
But
we're all gonna go our separate ways. But you guys need to stop Stop show timing. Okay, you've lost your privileges. Please and thank you, no. My best New York story.
Oh, okay.
My best New York story, and this is where I fully became a full-on New Yorker.
Okay.
Because I really, really cried on the streets of New York because of this, but in a good way. I was walking out of the 23rd Street stop on the F train.
Oh my! I'm not joking.
Okay, is your story there too?
Well, no, not the one I was going to tell as a good one, but my cry story in the city
Is on the 23rd Street stop of the F train.
That's where it started.
There's something about that station, right? Because it's kind of in the middle of, like, you don't expect an F train to be there. It's kind of like, it feels a little bit like New York Narnia a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. But I was walking out.
Holy
and
crap.
I was getting off
Holy
the
crap.
F train on 23rd Street, and that was back when they were shooting Billy in the Street.
Oh yeah,
Remember the show Billy in the Street?
Billy in the Street.
Yeah,
My other
anytime you
friend
see
Kevin
Billy
was
on the
that.
street, he is mostly on 23rd Street. Because I guess
He's not around the Flatiron Building a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is on 23rd Street.
Mm-hmm.
He's like around. I guess her studio is near there or something, and it's also just. It is a busy pedestrian place that you get actual New Yorkers and not tourists.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think 23rd Street is like the Times Square for actual New Yorkers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you need to go, like, if you need to go to Target or you need to go to like a store, you go to 23rd Street.
Yeah.
You don't go to Times Square.
Yeah.
Even 34th Street is like too touristy. 23rd Street, getting off the station, Billy on the Street is taping. They're clearly, for people who have ever watched Billy on the Street, they're taping with Big Bird that day.
Oh,
It's the Big Bird episode.
Okay.
I walk off the subway, I walk up the stairs, and I see Billy Eichner, who's getting mic'd up, and I see all their. It's not uncommon to see them. I've seen them many times, and I clearly see someone getting suited up in a big yellow feather getup.
Right.
I go, oh my god, it's Big Bird. I'm like, and I love Sesame Street. I love, like, the I always tell Kimberly, I was like, if you ever want to surprise me on a late night television show, you know how like they surprised Adam Scott with
when Mark Hamill came
on, and he was all of us, and it was great
because Mark Hamill is
I'm like, if you ever want to
great.
make like good TV of me losing my absolute mind on national television, just have Big Bird surprise me, because I will lose it. I love Big Bird. He's my sweet, sweet boy. He's so kind and nice, and I love Big Bird. And I walked by and I was like, oh my god, they're setting up Big Bird. That's so fun. Oh, he's gonna be on Billy on the Street. That's hilarious. What a great idea. But like, they're getting suited up, and I'm just walking by, and I'm like, how often is this gonna happen? And so I just I'm not usually a person to like point out or say hi or do anything to anyone.
Right.
Like, if they're anybody, it's not my style. I like to give people their space, because I would want mine.
Sure. Yeah. That's
In New York specifically.
Yeah.
New York is about like famous people like New York, because a lot of New Yorkers don't give a crap.
We know. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
We're moving. We're just going.
No, yeah,
Everyone's busy here. We got stuff to do.
Yeah, we all got stuff to do.
Cool.
homie.
It's you. Okay. Great.
That's neat.
Yeah.
And the people that do show up are like, hey, your work means a lot to me. Great. I'm going to give you your space. See ya. Like, it's awesome. Keanu Reeves can ride the subway in New York. Anyways, I love that picture.
Yes. It's cool.
I'm walking by Big Bird, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot, and as I'm walking by, I wave, and the Big Bird is like getting suited up. Their back is to me, and I just say, "Hi, Big Bird." And I guess I just thought it would be fun to say hi to Big Bird.
Yeah.
I assumed they were getting suited up or whatever. I didn't realize they were like good to go, and I say, "Hi, Big Bird." And Big Bird turns around, like full turn, like the head and everything, like, and just goes, "Hi," and I go, "Hi, Big Bird," and I immediately start crying, and I just.
Oh, and you ran?
Oh, I just had to go.
Oh.
I was like, oh, Big Bird said hi to me. I love this city. What a wonderful place. We're making our dreams come true, buddy. Big Bird said hi to you. Just like on the corner of like 23rd and 7th, just like,
oh wow,
like right outside the Graves Papaya.
Yes.
Like, Big Bird said hi to me. We're doing it, buddy. We got this. You got this. Believe in yourself, New York City. Like, crying so hard, I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have like the positive version of like crying in New York. I
Yeah,
guess.
I got broken up with.
Are you crying?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's so nice. And also, I'm remembering what happened to me at 23rd
Oh
Street.
no.
Oh yeah, no, a girl I thought it was after my second big breakup.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is the girl I'm supposed to. Oh, because in my head, my story was always like, okay, the next person I date is probably gonna be the one I end up with.
Yeah.
And
That's just math.
It's just That's how
Yeah.
I figured out my story.
That's
It's gonna be
statistics.
the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she had like all the things like, this is great, like this is amazing, she's fantastic, and then like she totally like played me a little bit and then like broke up with me, and I was just so not in a clear headspace and not like Team Adam at that point.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, I should have seen this coming. I didn't. I am destroyed.
Oh.
And I should have been ready, and I was not, and I was wrecked. So I had to walk from that station. Like, I don't know. My brain stopped working. It's like, I don't know what to do right now except cry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to walk from there. I was like, I'm just going to walk over to the 34th Street A because it's the fastest way home. So I just walked bawling in New York City.
That's like the same walk
Yeah.
that I took.
It was rough. The only person that accosted me the whole time was a Greenpeace person. It was like, do you have a moment for the rainforest? And I was like, are you kidding me right now?
I have never experienced talking with a Greenpeace person is one of the most rudest social New York interactions I've ever had. They were so pushy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and to the point where, and this is me talking here. This is Jay Schmidt. I really try to be as nice and as kind and as positive as I can be. Mm-hmm. It turned to like a swearing match.
Really?
With this Greenpeace dude.
Holy crap.
Oh yeah. And I started it. At least the swearing part. He just was so pushy that I was just like,
Wow.
Yeah, it was really. That's one thing. Here's the thing: New York gets a bad rap. I think, undeservedly so.
Yeah.
Because like, New Yorkers can come across, and this is someone I'm from the Midwest, so to Midwesterners, like the East Coast vibe can come across as very grating and kind of rude. The thing about New York is that like. They do not suffer fools in any capacity. Mm-hmm. And if you are doing something wrong or doing something stupid in New York, you are going to be informed of that fact. But more often than not in New York, it's like, hey, idiot, don't do this again. Like if you really look, there's an underlying of like, I'm trying to teach you how to do this right. Like, hey, dust yourself back off. You got this. You know what I mean? There's like a spirit to it. But also, like, if you are... New Yorkers also will not suffer fools in the other... Like, if they see someone else behaving badly to someone, they will stop it. Like, New Yorkers do not screw around. And there's like... And it's not from an aloofness. Like, New Yorkers really give a crap. They're like, do you know what it takes to keep this place afloat? We all have to be on the same team here.
There's a social contract of the city that is never stated, but you kind of pick up.
Feel it.
Yes. That's how the city works. There's a social contract here.
It's like, yeah, when you get to the bodega, you need to know your order. And we're going to ask for it quickly. Mm-hmm. And it's not because we don't like you. It's that we are trying to make sure everyone can get their thing.
Yeah.
It is more being courteous to the person behind you in line.
Yeah.
It comes across as very rude. There's no time for... I'm like, no, dude, America runs on Dunkin'. Let's go. Like, this is not, you should have looked at the menu online. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, so I haven't given my positive one yet.
Oh, yeah, I guess not.
So there's a bunch of positive ones of like having like really good shows and like having that. Like,
yeah, of course.
That's all great and stuff. I think one of like the best
going
one,
out
though,
and drinking after killing is maybe one of the best experiences of your whole life.
Mm-hmm. And this city is fantastic.
Yeah. Killing in a stand-up capacity, not murdering.
Yes.
Just want to be clear.
But I think probably one of the best ones, top ones, is the first time I kissed Amanda was coming back from a show, but we were in Long Island City, so we had to go under the river to get back to the island.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, okay, and it's like 10:30 coming from Long Island City back into Manhattan.
Yeah,
It's
on
like,
the 7 train.
yeah. On all likelihood, the train's gonna be empty. If the train's empty, if we get in the car that's empty, all right, we're kissing, totally kissing.
Oh, that's nice.
And we got on. No one was in the car.
Oh, that's magic.
So we had our first kiss under the East River.
I love the 7 train.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, my first apartment in New York was off the 7 train, and I really had a lot of affection for it.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
All right, we got to fix Thor, huh?
We gotta
Yeah, man.
fix Thor.
Who? Yeah, that was a spicy one. I liked
Good job, Bri.
I liked it.
Yeah, Brian's coming up with the heat.
Yeah, he's really. It wasn't quite magicians, but it was close. You know.
Don't get us started on magicians
Don't get us-
again.
Look, really, man, it's made me laugh like all week. I was like, that is the most buck wild thing to put in there, and I love it. What do you think about magicians? Well, I'll tell you.
I've got some
Man,
opinions.
I'm gonna be that old man. I'm like Grandpa has something to say about everything. It's like, yep, he got paid to do that for a while. All right, Thor 2, The Dark World. Before we hop into this thing proper, I think we should get an actual formal education on it and
Ooh,
defer
formal
to
education.
I am afraid to bring up his name because I don't know what's going on energy wise over there. But our
know.
wonderful producer Brian.
He's all right.
Our wonderful producer Brian in his segment.
Stop blowing smoke.
Brian, roll that beautiful bean fun fact footage.
Thank you, gentlemen. Producer Brian here, and today we're trying to fix 2013's MCU entry, Thor: The Dark World. Directed by Alan Taylor and written by Christopher L. Yost, Christopher Marcus, and Stephen McFeely, it stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Tom Hiddleston, Rene Russo, a doctor, and more. It cost $272.1 million to make and made $644.8 million at the box office. Here are some fun Bean facts. Originally, Patty Jenkins was supposed to direct, but exited due to creative differences. This rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, especially Natalie Portman, who also just had a bad time shooting this movie in general. Now, the movie had multiple rewrites and reshoots, too, among other things, include Loki more and not kill him. Now, if you care, this movie, which most people rank at the bottom of the MCU, actually has a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. Personally, based on the movie that we got, I think this movie starts off pretty interesting. But when it loses the Sif, Jane, Thor thread, which for my money gave it its character and at least made it a little bit interesting and different, it just becomes a forgettable action buddy movie, which I like because I like Thor and Loki, but the movie itself just becomes meh. Anyway, back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Brian. Sorry that Adam hates you.
What are you talking about? I love this guy.
Oh boy, yeah, this movie,
Well, before we get into the movie, Jay,
it just really bummed me out.
I know. Why don't you give everybody the plot drop so everyone knows why it bums you out?
Okay, all right.
That was pretty good. Shut up.
No, it was more your transition from doing the face of that announcer to being normal Adam was just kind of fun to watch.
Oh,
I
was
enjoyed
there?
it.
I did.
Yeah,
my
it was
face
nice.
changed.
It's very subtle. It's very
Oh,
small.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, for everyone watching on YouTube
I'm
saw
not.
it.
I'm not sure if they got it, but
Oh, was that subtle, huh?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. It's because I know you. Okay, Thor 2: The Dark World. It's not called Thor 2. It's just Thor: The Dark World.
I know, but it feels like it should have been there.
Okay, so
Oh.
okay. So back on Earth, Jane, what's her Jane?
Darcy.
No. I know Darcy.
Oh.
Jane. Jane
Foster.
Foster. Yeah. Jane Foster is on a date with some dude and gets a call about some kind of anomaly and goes to investigate it. there has been a flashback about Odin telling us about the Dark Elves, things that have never been mentioned before and are told that were very important, and they're defeated by all of the Asgardians and completely destroyed. And they have taken... It was the Convergence 5,000 years ago when the Dark Elves were trying to use a thing called the Ether to darken all of existence because they wanted to. You know how you just want to.
That's how things happen.
Yeah,
because
man.
You want to, Jay.
And the Dark Elves are defeated seemingly, and the Ether is taken and hidden by the Asgardians. Jane Foster and Darcy go to investigate an anomaly they find on some kind of system, and they accidentally stumble upon the Ether. The Ether is absorbed into Jane's body, and Thor goes down to investigate what's been going on with the Ether and finds Jane and takes her back to Asgard. The Ether being activated awakens the surviving Dark Elves because reasons, and they realize that they've been asleep so long that the next convergence is coming up soon.
Isn't that lucky?
Isn't that convenient? So the Dark Elves invade Asgard, and they send in one of their henchmen as a prisoner who activates a bloodstone or something.
Yeah, some stone that gave them abilities.
I don't know why they all don't do that, because that seemed like it was pretty cool.
Totally worked.
They never mention his name really at all, or he's just a weird pig minotaur.
Because I think the mask fused to his face.
Sure.
Whatever.
Sure, man. Whatever. He unlocks, he destroys the portal, or the force field to Asgard, and the Dark Elves invade, eventually trying to get to Jane to steal the Ether, and in the process of that, they kill Frigga, the mom. A character that we're told is very important, and because she's important. And they have a relationship with her sons because we're told that.
She had one scene between them in this movie.
Yes,
and it was
yes.
with Loki.
Loki has been imprisoned and underneath Asgard after his actions in the first Avengers movie, and Thor and his dad have a fight because he wants the elves to come to them because they have secured the Ether and they know where the elves are going to be, but Thor wants to take it off planet because to save Asgardian lives, and they get into it. Thor, with the help of the Warriors 3, gets the and Loki
and Sif.
Sif, isn't Sif one of the Warriors 3?
She's not.
Oh, well, she's cool.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
More Sif, please.
Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 help Thor and Loki, who are working together in begrudgingly
To avenge their
mom to get Jane off planet. They are tracked down by Malekith, the bad elf guy, played by the 9th Doctor, excuse me.
Oof. Watch yourself.
I know. And they double cross him into... Basically, they set up a situation where he removes the Ether from Jane safely. So they save Jane. And then attempt to destroy the Ether. It does not destroy, and Malekith takes it. He goes to Earth because that's where the convergence can affect everything.
Somehow.
And Thor fights him and kills him and stops it. And the Ether goes to the Collector. And he remedies his relationship with his father, and then it turns out that it's actually Loki, which they never actually explain.
No, off-screen, Loki replaces Odin.
Yeah, we never talk about Odin entering the sleep.
We do not.
It's just Loki.
It's just Loki.
Yeah.
And then that was a plot line that just fizzled in the third movie.
Yeah.
Just to get to the events of Ragnarok.
I Ragnarok was so good
It was.
that I think it retconned me remembering 2 a little bit better.
Sure.
Because I was like, oh yeah, there's some cool stuff here. I guess they set it up well. No, not really.
They didn't. They did not. They did not. They did not.
Yeah, that's Thor: The Dark World, really in a nutshell.
It's not... I understand why people have this at the bottom of a lot of their lists of MCU movies. I do like this movie.
Yeah.
I like this. It's not a good movie.
I aggressively don't like this movie.
I love Act 3. I love the fight. The fight through the worlds.
Oh, the fight is incredible. I'm not
it
arguing
is a great
that
Act
point.
3. There's enough little humor bits on it. Jane and Darcy using the pylons or whatever they've created to mess with physics and stuff in certain pockets. It's all great. I really like it. But man, leading up to that, it's story-wise, it's a decent story. They just didn't give the right time to Frigga
No.
at all,
No.
who plays such an important part in both Loki and Thor's lives.
Yes.
That she has one scene in this movie
With each of them.
but it's really just the one scene
Yeah.
with Loki, and it's really good, and it's too short.
Yeah.
And then in the next scene that she's really in, she dies.
Uh-huh.
And she's supposed to be a badass, and she doesn't get to be a badass, and they just kill her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
sucks.
really
they fridge her. Let's be real.
They fridge her. They fridge her.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Especially seeing how moving forward all the way into the Loki series, like that first episode,
Yeah.
when they're showing Avengers time, or I guess when I say like 2012 Loki, who escapes,
Yeah.
with the Tesseract. Like, hey, this was that first life that you just bamfed out of. This is what happened. And it's his mom dying that makes Tom Hiddleston crack and cry in that scene. That was a very, very good scene
Yeah.
of getting Loki from Avengers to like kind of fast forward his character arc to something close to where he was at the in Endgame.
Uh-huh.
But it was his mom dying. That was the thing. That was the big thing that helped.
Yeah.
And she got one scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Huh?
It's bad, man. That part was bad. I still enjoy the movie, but
I
they
can
just
get past that stuff, honestly.
really.
For me, what really doesn't work about this movie, I think you have done a really nice job of world building what the Dark Elves look like and how they operate.
Sure.
And their ships and stuff are cool. You have not. You basically just dropped these bad guys in our lap that all kind of look the same, and I don't care about them. Like Malekith, we need like a lot of bad guys. Bad guys work when you understand what they're trying to do.
Yes.
And I don't understand, and the movie did not explain to me why really Malekith is trying to kind of like darken the universe, other than that's what bad guys do.
Yep. You're right.
We don't spend any time with his character.
Nope.
He is evil for evil's sake.
Yep.
It's just not. I would be really fascinated. I thought all of their design and their world building was really cool, and I think we had an opportunity to like, and I think this with Asgard as well, but Asgard's also gone. But like, I just feel like these are the like two things like they could have existed further in the MCU.
Yes.
But it's literally like they're a disposable bad guy.
The MCU has done a disservice to Thor's wedge of the universe.
Yes.
There are in the
It
comics.
started strong.
Oh yeah, in the comics, Asgard, the Nine Realms, Thor's piece of the pie, like it's vast and vibrant, and there's so many amazing things that happen there that can affect all of the MCU. It's great. But they don't use any of it in the MCU.
They move Asgard to Oklahoma. And it sounds stupid.
Yeah,
but it's actually great.
Yeah. There's some, I didn't read the end of these things. Well, I didn't read, like, Fear itself. But, like, 6 other hammers show up. And, like, oh, that's cool. There's, like, Thor core at some point.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of really interesting... There was, there were multiple Thors in universe at one time. Like, yo, this is crazy. Because, like, Mjolnirs from, like, other universes show up. And so, like, yo... There is a lot going on with Thor. There's barely anything going on with Thor in the movies. Yeah. And it sucks because Malekith is one of like the major players in Thor's world. He's a massive bad guy.
Yeah.
And wow. They just, he's just evil. He's got a couple of scenes and that's it. That's it. We don't know why the Dark Elves are doing any of it.
No.
None of it.
We just want to make everything dark. Oh, because and the VO at the beginning, they were here before the universe started,
Yeah.
and they were using an Infinity Stone before. But wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
None of this. Wait, that's not how this all works. What? This is okay. Also, even though they showed some action over the VO, it's like, but you're starting with a VO. Usually that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, because you're just trying to give us information
It
quickly.
can be great.
But you got to figure out the right device.
But you got,
and it was just
and the narrator's got to be right. Like,
yes. And it was just Odin telling us stuff.
yeah. And we
Why was he telling us this? We don't know. He's just telling us stuff.
Yeah.
Movie starts. Like,
Mm-hmm.
uh-oh. Yeah, it's frustrating. I still enjoyed the movie, but it was from a story perspective, it's frustrating. And also, we were talking about this before. There's no theme to this film.
There's no theme.
This is a story that just happens.
The theme is Thor movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we telling the story?
And that goes into a large amount of my fix is that I want to attack, and because I think there is an overarching theme of the Thor narrative and the Asgard narrative that I think the MCU has kind of blown past.
Yes.
That I want to attach this movie to, and
yes.
I feel like this movie can be used to set the tone, because I mean, I'll talk about it in my fix.
Sure.
But I feel like, yeah, I think if you just give this movie a thematic voice, you fix a lot of the problems.
Yes.
Because it's like, why are Malekith and Thor fighting?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like, what's... But also, in any story with, like, a quote-unquote hero and a quote-unquote villain, what is the villain teaching the hero? And vice versa. Mm-hmm. Like, what are they actually fighting over? But then what's the ideological thing that, like, is actually going to...
Right.
How is Thor different after this movie? It's my same complaint with the fourth movie.
Yeah.
Thor is the exact same. Thor is the same.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's like, he wants to leave and go be with Jane, so there's that. I'll give him that.
Well, the movie of this, they tried to make this kind of like a little bit of a not a rom-com, but like a romantic action film.
Yeah.
And
but
that
also,
was wrong.
Rewatching this movie, I fully understand why Natalie Portman wanted to bail.
Well, I think
she has no agency.
I'm sure that Brian probably brought it up in his thing, but like, yeah, she did not have a good time on this film.
No.
Like, there's a reason why she didn't show up in 3. Yeah, because like, no, and they really had to work hard to like get her into the 4th one, because like, yeah, she was like, no, I'm done. I'm done. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had an Infinity Stone inside of her the entire, for most of the second act. And she was just, I got the black lung, Dad.
Yeah. She doesn't.
I was just a quantum field scanner. We got these two. Like,
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. But like, she's just sick. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great.
It's frustrating. That being said, there are still some really, really good character moments in this movie. Thor and Loki are really good. Thor and his dad are really good. The scene with Frigga and Loki are really good.
Yeah.
Thor and Loki at the end when Loki dies.
The art direction is great.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, I would like. They never gave Asgard the Wakanda treatment, and I think we could have gotten that when they were doing like the quantum field generator and like scanning her. I was like, this is awesome. I want more of this.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know more. I want to see the alien tech that's not quite alien.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really fun. But they just don't really embrace that ever.
Nope.
And now Asgard's gone, so the opportunity is past us. But hell, even the Dark Elves, I was like, yo, their tech rules. I was like, their ships are cool as hell.
They are really cool.
I was like, hell yeah. I was like, this is great. But also, like, they're basically putties. Like, dude, when they get out of the ship, they basically could just be going, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
I ruined
you ruined it
for you.
Yeah, no, because you're so right. They should just have a Z on their chest.
Yeah, I don't know why they're having such a hard time defeating the Dark Elves. You just punch them in like the thing in their chest and they turn back to goo.
Damn it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're super right. They had little Court of Owl masks on, and it's just like, they're just
makes
putties.
them completely nameless.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of putties. Yeah.
They're fighting because what else is there to do?
Oh my god. Crap.
Which can be a fun energy from a villain's perspective.
Sure.
If you choose it.
Yeah, but you know what? You gotta earn your faceless goons.
That would be. I would be fine with the Malekith we got if there was at one point he was like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like, "I don't know.
Cause
Why not?" It's like, "Oh, okay. Oh, you're the devil. Oh, gotcha.
But he's not. He's not from Muspelheim.
No,
he's
he
from
just-
Startlheim, I believe.
Whatever.
And Muspelheim is the
Sure.
is hell in the Nine Realms. Jay, I played a lot of God of War since
Yeah.
this movie came out, so like I got a lot of
Yeah, man.
Norse stuff in my head, which
Yeah.
really helped me with this fix. Because like, wait a second, Kratos and Atreus did a lot of really cool stuff in those games. Like, oh wait, I've got Norse mythology in my brain. Let's go.
Yeah, let's
let's
party.
do this. There's some stuff we could do here, and they just didn't.
All right, I think we got to fix this.
We
thing.
gotta go. We gotta fix this. I believe am going first.
You are going first. So Adam, fix it.
I will, Jay. Okay, so we were talking about themes. So I'm going to lead with my theme here. This is my thesis statement, my thesis statement. Whatever, that was dumb. So the first movie was about Thor figuring out he was worthy for the hammer, making mistakes, and like on his journey to like, you know what? No, I am worthy of this. I'm going to pick up my hammer and defend Earth and like stop Loki from doing the stuff. Great. He became worthy of the hammer again.
Yeah.
Great theme. That was fantastic. The first movie is good. The third movie also had a theme of Thor coming into his own of like, no, your father's gone. You need to figure out to be the leader.
Yeah.
You need to take over. So he's like, okay, great. I'm going to lead Asgard now. Granted, he leads them for 2 weeks before Thanos shows up. I think this second film needs to be that bridge between him becoming worthy of the hammer again and like truly embracing yep, it's time for me to lead.
Yeah.
So this is him figuring out that eventually he's going to lead. He's going to be king.
Yeah.
He needs to figure out how to be king of Asgard.
Okay. So that's like
Like
your
he was
big-
worthy of the hammer, and then the
now
third
he needs to be worthy of the throne.
yes, worthy of the throne, and then the third one is like, okay, I do have to take this throne now because he doesn't want to. Like at the end, like he will still like, you know what? Okay, great, I am worthy now, but like I don't want it.
Yeah. Well, it's the third movie is where the rubber meets the road of actually leading.
Yes,
That like
Yes.
being king doesn't necessarily make you a leader. Like
right.
And yeah.
Yeah, he's forced by Hela and his father dying to be like, no, I now have to.
Yeah.
Okay, I will now that journey to like, yep, I'm not a god of hammers. I'm the god of lightning. Let's go. So he's going to figure out how to be a leader in this movie.
It's a great moment.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because of the music. Then the correct music starts playing. Yeah.
God, man.
I didn't know why they didn't play that in Infinity War.
Can
Anyways,
you imagine?
yes, I can because people have done it, and I was like, yeah, this is it. Yeah, let's go. Oh, also,
You could have even made it diegetic. You could have had like Peter Quill, like because was he there?
no, he was not. He was on Titan.
You could have had Rocket with just like a cassette being like, before we go, like we should probably play the right music. Or thunder.
Yeah, I know.
It's good, man.
Yes.
Ooh, let's get him. Oof, I just gave myself goosebumps.
I know. All right, that's just good. Anyway, and also Malekith's gonna have a reason for doing all this stuff
Yeah.
because
Yes.
he needs a reason. Okay, here we go. Act 1. We're gonna start the same way with a VO of explaining what the Dark Elves are, but it's not Odin, it's Frigga,
Oh.
and she is telling a bedtime story
You and I had a very similar start.
To-
I like where
to Thor, young Thor and Loki.
yeah.
And like she's gonna tell them what their father, their grandfather did to defeat the Dark Elves, and she's gonna give like the version of the story we see in the movie. Like the Dark Elves were really bad, and they wanted to darken all of the realms. They didn't show up before existence. They're not using something before existence. I mean, they can allude to the Infinity Stone, but like they were part of the Nine Realms.
Yeah.
But Frigga's gonna tell the bedtime story version of what the Dark Elves did, right? Basically, what we got in the movie. And then we're gonna smash cut to and then of course we can see like.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Baby Thor and Loki kind of like, being brothers and...
Sorry. Man, that really hurt.
That's all right. We're both, a little...
Ooh.
So they can be kind of playfully joshing a little bit
Yeah.
and stuff, and having little quips here and there as the kids, and seeing little versions of themselves that will grow into later into adults, or thousands, people who are thousands of years old and still, poking at each other.
Ow. Okay. So sorry.
No, it's fine.
Whew.
Feeling clear?
I guess.
Okay. Smash cut from Frigga being a good mom telling a bedtime story to Thor returning with Loki right after the event of the Avengers. Same basic stuff.
Yeah.
Thor takes Loki to his cell, and this time, after Loki gets locked into his cell, we're going to see a glamour pop up, and Frigga's going to be there because she wasn't there in the throne room.
Yeah.
It's in the same scene within the throne room with Odin being like, the only reason why you're not dying is because of your mother. She stayed my hand, blah blah blah. So we're gonna get a scene between Frigga and Loki. Right, we're gonna get that scene that happens somewhere by around like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, of like her being a good mom and cutting through Loki's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because he's all bluster, and I was like, "Why did you do the thing?" And she's like, "No, I am your mother. I am so sorry that we lied to you, but nothing we did was out of spite.
Yeah.
Like we
weren't cruel.
We were not cruel to you. We love you. You don't need to do this." Because Thor has been saying that, the whole time. But like, we've never seen. This is Frigga's gonna step up and be a great mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to see this now. It is a really it's a really good scene, and Tom Hiddleston is gonna act the crap out of this thing. Because he's gonna be like, "But you're gonna see his armor cracking a little bit." Because nope, haha. So meanwhile, back in the throne room, Odin is telling Thor, like, "Hey, the 9 realms are in turmoil. Everything's going wrong. I need you to go out there and bring peace to the 9 realms." So, which is what happened in the movie, but we just get that decent fight scene at random realm with one of the guys from the comics.
Which is fine.
Which is
it's a fun sequence.
Which is totally fine. The Warriors 3 is there. Sif's kicking ass. Everyone's doing it's a fine scene. The problem is there wasn't enough of Thor bringing peace to the 9 realms. So in lieu of that little fight scene, we're going to have Thor go around the 9 realms, and like we're just gonna montage him bringing peace. And this is really important for later in the film, because we're going to, as he goes to each realm, we're going to be like, "Hey, this is the name of the realm and who lives here." So like Muspelheim, this is where like Hel lives, or Hel, Hel, and some the fire giants or whatever, like, and then Starfelhelm, which is where the dark elves were, and like the other realms. Oh, they have Alfheim. There's like a bunch of different realms. The dwarves lives there. The light elves live somewhere. All we just see. We're gonna see. We got to see the 9 realms. We got to see them. We got to see them. We got to know their names, even though we're not gonna remember all of them because it's kind of weird. And who lives where. So meanwhile, he's gonna pass by Earth and be like, "Well, everything's great here because we just cleaned up everything because we're decently after Endgame, or I'm sorry, Avengers." But while we're on Midgard. We're gonna stay on Midgard as he passes through, and we're gonna go with Jane. Jane, Darcy, and Selvig are working for Shield.
Oh, okay.
Selvig did not just go into the wind.
Yeah.
He was at the tower. He built the thing. Shield's gonna let him just go? Are you insane?
No.
That's just dumb.
Yeah.
He should have been with Shield the whole time. There's no way Shield. Maria's like, "Oh yeah, he's fine. Just let him blow in the wind and do whatever and run around."
He's an asset.
Yes,
regardless of where.
we keep him
Yeah.
in. Come on, man. But the same stuff's happening. They're in Shield. They're like, "Hey, something's going on. Their readings are going on. Like something is happening with the realms. Like all the stuff they were doing in the first movie that kind of helped with Selvig do stuff in Avengers is now like, hey, everyone got taken out of protective custody." Because what happened? Because like, where's Jane? Like, "Oh, she's safe. We're hidden somewhere." Hey, she's out of protective custody. Like now she's helping us figure out. Because here's the thing: somebody from Asgard just attacked Earth again, twice inside of like a year. We need to figure out
what's going on with them.
Yeah, what's going on with them? Where's Asgard? And can we get there? They can easily travel to us. But there's threats coming from Asgard.
That makes sense.
So
actually,
we need to figure out how to mitigate this.
It's a pretty reasonable cause and effect.
Yeah. So they are using that team to try to figure out how to get there and be able to be like, "Hey, you know what? You're not the only ones. All right, us people on Midgard are pretty awesome too and can do some stuff." So, everyone's bringing peace. Jane's doing the thing, and while they're working with Shield, Jane can do the same thing of finding a portal and find. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The last stop on Thor's bringing peace to the 9 realms is he stops in Starfelheim, which is where the Dark World, where Frigga's story took place at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
and we're gonna stop and have a scene here with Thor and Sif and the Warriors 3 and like kind of like looking at all the damage of the battle that happened that his grandfather wrought on these people.
Yeah.
And have a moment of just like, oh, my mom told me about this place and like, God, all this destruction and death and chaos, like, wasn't worth it? Did we bring peace to these people? I mean, they're not here anymore. This is just like they have an actual like they think about the ramifications of action from the past. And so I have a moment, and then as they're talking and as they're leaving, more as bifrosted up, we kind of pan back and we see in the wreckage they were being watched by a crap ton of dark elves. They are clearly not all gone, but we're gonna stay on Starfelheim and we're gonna follow these dark elves as they go back and report to Malekith of Thor Odin's son was just here. He was like, oh, that makes sense. It's been 5,000 years. The next convergence is upon us. And while that's happening, meanwhile on Earth, Jane finds the portal, whatever, accidentally walks into a portal, and that portal takes her to Asgard.
Oh, cool.
But not just anywhere in Asgard. It takes her to the vault.
Oh shit.
And in the vault, as they said in the after credits scene with Sif and the other Ray Stevenson,
Yeah.
R.I.P. Because I was like, oh, when I saw him in this movie, it's like, oh, it's you, Bailey. Oh, but crap, you're it sucks. I became a fan of you after you're gone. Damn it, man, you're awesome.
I want his saber so bad.
As they mentioned it in that scene with the collector, I was like, we shouldn't have 2 Infinity Stones in the same place.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You could protect this. He's like, yes, now I have one. 5 to go. Ha ha. But like, I'm going to say that in this version of events, they didn't know they had an Infinity Stone in the vaults because Bor, Odin's father, is the one that took the Aether away from the Dark Elves, but he hid it in some pocket dimension. That's dumb. That's convenience sake. No, he hid it in the vault in something that no one had any idea it was in.
Yeah.
He kept it secret from everybody, even Odin. Odin didn't even know it was there. So, but when they brought the Tesseract into the vault, because that's where it is, it started to react with the Aether. And so when Jane pops in, it's moments after they put the Tesseract in. Or maybe it's a little, time-wise, maybe it's a little later. But anyways, you see the Tesseract, she's like, oh, the Tesseract, wait a second, wasn't that the thing from that Selvig was messing with? And then all of a sudden she sees something on the other side of the vault, like, glowing, that, like, no one else has really noticed yet. And she's like, of course, she's just going, what's this? Aether! Oh, no! Flash back over to Malekith, like, oh, the Aether just awokened. Oh, and it's on Asgard. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Well, we've been planning for this. We have been planning for 5,000 years.
Yeah.
We have to go to Asgard. And it works out because the convergence is happening. Fantastic. The alarms go off in the vault. Everyone's like, we have an intruder. Jane's like, I got ethered. No. And guards show up and she bodies these guards. Not like gets touched and then like shockwave. Oh no. Like, no. Boom, boom, whoa. Like, whoa. Is that the reality stone she's got? The red one. Was that reality?
It's reality stone.
Oh yeah, because when
it can change the reality of all the realms.
So yes, that's right. Because that's when I remember the scene from Infinity War when Thanos is messing with people.
Yeah.
She's not gonna use reality powers. Let's just say she's just super strong, or just some type of. We can see a little bit of that, but like Jane bodies these people. She's got powers now.
Yeah.
Because he's no. Jane's got powers. And so more guards come. She's like, whoa. I'm really sorry. Hi, I'm Jane Foster, friend of Thor. Is he here? Thor Odin's son? I'm just looking. Hi, sorry. They bring her in front of Odin. And Odin's like super pissed because he did not know his father hid an Infinity Stone in the vaults because he wouldn't have put the Tesseract down there. So Odin's about to be like, sentence her or whatever. And Frigga's like, whoa, that is Thor's friend. How about no? Thor is out and about. He's going to be back soon. Let me just take her. And now we're going to get a nice, really awesome scene between Frigga and Jane. And it's like your girlfriend meeting your mom for the first time. And they're going to have a scene. And it's really nice. And they're talking. And they're kind of, snipping about Thor a little bit. But, like, clearly they both really care about him. Mm-hmm. And it's really nice for Frigga to, like, meet somebody that Thor really cares about. And it's really cool. And then Thor comes back from his bringing peace to the Nine Realms. Finds out Jane's here. It's like, where is she? It's like, oh, she's with your mom. Like, you actually see Thor a little like, oh no. And race over to try to intercept them. And as we enter that scene, we hear Frigga talking to Jane about. Did he tell you about the enchantment on the hammer? It's like, yeah, she won't never shut up about it. It's like, yes, he's telling it to you wrong. I'm sure he said it was like, what was it? I wrote it down to make sure I get this right because I had to look it up.
Because it's important.
Because it's
that's
important.
What the challenge was.
Yes, it was. Okay.
We
Yes.
forgot to remind everyone.
We forgot to tell you, but I gotta. Yeah, sorry. If you guys, yes, my challenge for this episode, was to make sure that to lay the seeds for Jane picking up Mew Mew in the 4th movie.
Yeah.
So Frigga says, "Oh yeah." So he's probably told you that the enchantment was wrong. He probably says like whoever holds his hammer, may he be worthy. It's not he, it's they. Like you think he was the first, because we'll see that in the 3rd movie because Hela had it first, right?
Yes.
So it's actually they, and that's when Thor walks in. And is like, "Mother, Jane, what are you doing?" And then explanation. I'm something in the vault and then the thing, and now I was like, I got powers now. This is crazy. What's going? And so flashback over. We're going to get Malekith through the same basic plot of like, hey, guy, don't really know. Use the stone. Go get captured. Go to the thing. Explosion. Like this, all that stuff happens.
That stuff was cool.
That stuff was cool. In this version of events, though, he frees Loki. So all that stuff happens. Big fight scene on Asgard. It's more than just. I think it's a little bit more because it's a little bit more people invading the palace than the ships flying through, which is cool and all. But I need more people actually fighting in the throne room and fighting throughout Asgard, not just the jails, but like actually like dark elves, getting in and like scrambling around, whatever. And eventually, we're gonna get to the part where we're in the throne room, and Malekith is monologuing about how this is why I'm doing this. From the beginning of the 9 realms, we've been persecuted because we're dark elves, because we live in the darkness.
Yeah.
There has never been equality. Everyone's been persecution. Everyone never gave us a chance. We were just evil because we're from the shadows. How dare you?
Yeah.
This is why we're fighting for equality. You don't give it to us, then we're gonna just take it.
We have to take it.
We have to take it. You've left us no choice.
Yep.
There's no other choice.
Yeah.
You won't let us into the light. We're gonna make it all dark.
Yeah.
How dare you? I was like, wait a second. Maybe just that kind of. Maybe that's a point.
Yeah.
Oops.
Maybe we're the stormtroopers. Oh shoot.
Oh crap! Did we? Uh-oh.
Oh.
So now that he has a reason why he's doing all this, he wants Jane to give me the ether, but Jane's like not just. Oh, she's like, come get some, because she's empowered. Thor's like, please don't. Like, we don't know.
No,
we don't. He's like, no. I'm like you're worth. And Frigga says like, you're actually you're worthy of my son. He's actually worthy of you. Like she said, like it's very nice. Like, I approve of Jane Foster. You guys are very worth each other. So Jane is not going to go without a fight. And and we have Odin somewhere else dealing with other stuff, right? Just because the fight's happening all over Asgard, specifically to kind of like make everybody do other things. So in order to try to get Thor to give Jane to Malekith, he's going to kill Frigga.
Yeah.
And when that happens, Loki is going to come out of his invisibility and attack Malekith. Gotcha. He'll be able to stab him, but like he's going to get knocked off. It's not going to be a kill shot. And so Malekith goes to kill Loki, and Frigga jumps in front of him.
Yeah.
Takes a shot, not lethal, but he grabs Frigga and turns to Loki, and Thor is like, you're going to give me Jane, or I'm going to kill your mom. And they bounce. You have a day, or I'm going to kill your mom.
Okay.
So same basic plot line now of,
but adding a little bit more.
Yes.
It's not just
It's not just.
We're not fridging her.
We're not fridging her. She jumped in the way because she loves Loki. That is my son. You will not harm him.
Yeah.
So they have the same argument with Odin. He's like, this is the worst call I've ever had to make. I love Frigga. She is my wife. And this is the good version of that relationship. A lot of time they don't have a great relationship. No, they have a good relationship. But he chooses to all of the realms are at risk. You can't give her Jane. We'll figure out a way of getting this the Aether out of her. Yeah. But you can't. Yeah. But same basic thing happens. Thor and Loki and the Warriors 3 and Sif figure out a way no, we got to go save my mom. We're going to go save my mom. I understand where my dad's coming from, but absolutely not.
Yeah.
I will not sacrifice my mom for the realms. I'm sorry. I will not. So they all, the same basic thing. Everyone gets out, scoots back over to the Dark World to do the fight. Same basic fight happens, right? They can trick. Jane fights a little bit more, but eventually Thor is going to get knocked aside. Jane's trying to fight, and she's, even though she's not a fighter, she's got an Infinity Stone in her.
Yeah.
So, like, she's doing okay.
It's like, look, if Gwyneth Paltrow with Extremis can get stuff done,
It's true.
do not make Jane just like...
I got the red
she
lung.
literally does that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... We're not exaggerating it.
So, at a certain point, Thor's going to get, the big guy with the big hulking bad guy who had the stone or whatever in him, the main mall, it's going to pin Thor down, like, start pounding on him. Knocks Jane aside and knocks him by the hammer, who's just kind of Mew Mew's just sitting there. And just out of sheer just instinct, Jane reaches for the hammer.
Okay.
And in that moment, the bad guy picks up Thor and just throws Thor at Jane. It knocks into her, and we see the hammer fall over as they tumble away into the dirt.
Hell yeah.
The fight kind of continues basically as normal. They attempt to kill Frigga. She's badass and does badass things, but eventually, like, Loki is able to kill the bad guy. But Malekith is about to kill Loki.
Yeah.
And once again, Frigga jumps in the way and is like, "You will not touch my son," and she gets a kill shot, which enrages Thor. Thor burns his face. That's where we get the face.
Yeah.
And Loki launches himself. Like, Loki loses it, launches himself at Malekith, also dies.
Gotcha.
Dies. But we have moments here of Loki now being there when his mom dies.
Yeah.
So, like, the truly the one person that, like, he really, really cared about,
Yes,
that we've now seen multiple
I
scenes through the
understand.
movie.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston's gonna freaking act the crap out of the scene and, like, lose it.
Yeah.
And launch himself at Malekith in a way we've never seen Loki, like, act before. Granted, this is like the third movie he's in, but, like, oh no, he's gonna die. The Thor's gonna. It's like, oh no, my mother. It's gonna be like, it's so sad. But then basically the rest of the movie happens as it normally does.
Yeah.
Here's the big difference though in Act 3.
Okay.
You know what? And you are right about how why do they go to Earth? It should have been on Starfelheim, but
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter. Let's just go back to Earth. But this time, as we're playing with portals and falling through stuff,
Yeah.
we're going to go to all the places we saw in Act 1
Yeah.
when Thor was, bringing peace to the realms.
Absolutely.
And the fight's going to be in front of all the denizens of the 9 realms.
He's inadvertently bringing peace to the realm.
Yes.
Yeah.
This time we can see Thor, not just bringing peace to each realm, but, like, fighting for all of the realms, and everyone gets to see it.
Yeah.
The fight continues on. Darcy and Jane and Selvig are doing cool things with the physics of, crushing dark elves and doing some fun stuff. And but at the end of the fight, it doesn't happen at the base of the base of the ship, which is okay, I guess. But, like, they're gonna fall through a portal and they're gonna be on Yggdrasil,
Oh, okay.
the actual tree that branches out that holds all the 9 realms, because it's the convergence of all the realms are lined up.
It's
like
the tree.
It's the tree. They're fighting on the tree, and all the realms can see them fighting on the tree. And this is the moment when Thor, because Malekith is empowered by the Infinity Stone, is like, you know what? We don't have to do this. You have a point. You were persecuted.
Yeah.
We could just talk and we'll figure this out. You've killed my mom. You need to be punished. But, like, I can save your people.
Yeah.
Let me save your people. Thor uses Talk No Jitsu, and everyone sees him stand up for the Dark Elves.
Yeah.
Malekith is like, no? How about no? How about it's been 5,000 years. I don't care about that anymore. You all need to pay for what you've done to my people.
Yeah.
They're able to, pull the aether out of him like they do in the movie. But this time, Thor's going to knock him off the tree.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like what Red
Yeah.
Skull did. Oh, no,
So he's still
I'm in
around.
the void.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
cool.
kind of what Loki did. Like, I fell off the Bifrost. Oh, no, I fell off the Bifrost. Ah! So, Jane is no longer has the Infinity Stone in her. Malekith fallen off the tree. He's just in the void. All the realms saw Thor stand up for the Dark Elves and bring peace to fight for all of them.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, you know what? Thor is, has learned that he is worthy of leading, because his father's like, you're going to have to. I don't want to. And again, like, the same thing with Loki can happen. because like he died.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Because with his mom's death, that was it. That was the last. Clearly, Odin doesn't care. Thor is taking like, but you know what? I'm just gonna take this from him because what else do I have anymore? My mom's gone.
Yeah.
So he's gonna take the throne.
Yeah.
So it stops in the same place,
Uh-huh.
but now they have that much tighter connection, and that would even play further into Loki's first season of his show with his past self seeing his mom die in front of him.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, fighting on Yggdrasil. All the realms were there, man.
Yeah.
Show us some Norse stuff.
Yeah, I want to see more.
All right, Jay, your turn. Fix it.
Okay.
Also, just as a reminder, Jay has to put in Beta Ray Bill into this fix.
And I kind of just leaned into it.
All right, that's awesome.
And I think it actually works. And I think a large amount of the issues that I've had with Thor writ large are, I think there's just as much as Ragnarok is really fun and it's a breath of fresh air because the series was really super serious for a long time.
It was very super serial, yeah.
There's no there's no thematic through line of the Thor storyline.
Sure, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Whereas I think a lot of the other ones like really don't always succeed, but at least try.
Yes.
You know, like Iron Man is like always he is always trying to, like the through line is he is trying to be a one-man army and realizes that he needs allies.
He's dealing with his demons.
He is atoning for his past self.
Yes.
And through the journey of trying to do all of that himself, he realizes that he is only just one Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like Captain America is basically like I would say the through line is like he is just like fighting for his like family writ large and like trying to get back what he had, but then realizing he can never have what he had.
Right.
And like, you know, Guardians is all about family.
Yep.
Period. I would say Guardians is probably thematically the strongest. I think,
yes.
And I think this plays into what inevitably happens with Thor, is that I think the theme of asylum and home, and home not necessarily being where you're born, should be kind of the through line of, because it's the whole concept of him being quote unquote fish out of water, and that's like the comedic mind of the first movie.
Yes.
And
another.
Yeah. So I am opening my Thor movie similarly to Thor: The Dark World is opening very similarly with we're getting told the story of the Dark Elves.
Sure.
But what the difference being is that the realm of the Dark Elves, like they had taken like was slowly being destroyed a la Krypton. And so they were invading other realms in order to establish a new homeworld for the Dark Elves. And so that's why like they would need to blot out the sun or whatever the light source is on these other planets.
I see. They're trying to terraform another realm.
Yes. And we see we see the Dark Elves kind of invading other realms and other planets and things like that. And specifically, what we see in this opening and this final battle doesn't take place in the Dark Elves realm. It takes place on the planet of Corbin, and the Dark Elves are invading the Corbinite planet in order to establish a
safe refuge.
Refuge. And it like they blot out the sun. It works, but they inevitably end up destroying that planet as well.
Yeah.
And so it's what's his name? Bor the father. Like,
yes, Bor is Odin's father. Yes,
he opens up we see also in this flashback, he basically accepting a lot of these other alien races to be refugees in Asgard.
Sure.
And like using his magic to expand Asgard and refugees.
Oh, okay, great.
We also see his son Odin not being happy with that.
Oh.
And we see Odin is
okay.
Like Odin was vehemently against these decisions.
Sure.
Until and would fight constantly with his father until he married the young Frigga, and she softened his heart. And so we see like Asgard is kind of also like like more of like a kind of hodgepodge of different alien races and things like that.
Sure.
But we find out that cut away from this flashback, we see that, and the way we kind of get that information about Odin and Frigga is it is Odin and Frigga walking a young Thor and a young Loki to school.
Oh, that's adorable.
And they're
okay.
like, I don't know why we need to go to school. Like we're royalty, and Frigga's like, it's very important to me that like that if you are going to lead this place, you need to understand the people that live here.
To Asgard Public School.
And,
yes.
and
away.
Odin's like, yeah, I don't know about some of these, and she's like, they need to understand all of the people here, and like kind of corrects him on that. And we see we see like Thor running up and seeing all of his friends, and Loki kind of hanging back, and Thor trying to get Loki to come play, but he kind of won't. I like the idea that like Loki's kind of an outcast, but there's kind of part of Loki's personality that he kind of
likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, because sometimes people like are isolated, and I'm like, it's like the old Jackie Cation bit when she was like, I wouldn't have a lot of friends as a kid, and then one day we had to pick partners in gym class, and I didn't have a partner, and my gym teacher was like, why don't you have a partner? And she was like, I don't have any friends. And the gym teacher changed my life when she said, well, are you friendly? She was like, oh no. Oh, I'm not. oh, this is a two-way street. Okay. Cool. But we see a young Corbinite kind of like being very, very good friends with Thor. So cut to we get the Marvel cinematic, all the Marvel stuff comes up. We get the opening credits, and we kind of get like, I like the idea of like we kind of spend time in Asgard, but we kind of expand. Like, I think the opening credits should be like what it's like to like find refuge in Asgard.
Yeah.
Like going through all their processes of like being like all the Asgardian paperwork and like.
So like Asgardian immigration.
Yes. Asgardian immigration.
Okay,
yes.
Great.
And I really love the idea that we cut to it's Thor. The narrator then becomes Thor, and he is. They're establishing that that the Nine Realms have been in chaos ever since Loki did what he did.
Yep.
And so he has been establishing peace with
the Warriors 3.
With the Warriors 3, Lady Sif, as well as his Corbinite buddy, who he affectionately, he's like, I can't pronounce your name, I'm just going to call you Bill.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I've really tried to learn your language. It's really, really hard. I think there's parts of my body that I need to make the sounds that I don't have. Okay. So so
they are like
him
best
Bill.
buds, Josh.
Yeah. He calls me Bill because he can't say my name. He's like, look, I think you have gills or something. I don't have those. I can't say it.
Your mouth shape is completely different than mine.
I like the idea that like he has become the brother that he wishes he had with Loki. And if anything, that's kind of driven their friend, like that's driven Thor and Loki even farther apart. So they are establishing peace on the Nine Realms. Also, forgive me. We are doing the ether.
Yes,
and we are not being coy about it basically being the reality stone.
Yes, they were a little coy until the end of the movie, where it's like, oh, this is a reality stone.
We're just calling it the reality stone because like Malekith was like using it he was changing the reality of that realm to not have a sun. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I do. Very good.
Like, well,
very good.
Yep. And it's like the convergence.
Just cut through it. Yep.
The convergence is coming up, so that's another reason why they are fighting on an old burnt out Corbinite. Corbinite, excuse me. It's funny. There's as I did research about Beta Ray Bill, there's so much about like the naming convention and some of the aspects of it that are so incredibly silly, but it works.
Yeah.
It like kind of I was like, this is stupid, but I love it.
Yeah. That's comics, man.
They are fighting on a burnt out Corbinite, and there have been like bandits and stuff that are like taking refuge on that planet because it's burnt out.
Makes sense. Yes.
And they eventually stumble upon the ether, because Bohr hid it on Corbinite because they were like, no one's going to come here anymore because it's destroyed.
Makes sense.
And we've basically we have gotten rid of the Dark Elves. They're pretty much extinct now, so no one's going to come looking here. And if they do, then we'll know. They accidentally access the ether, which sets. I love the idea. Like, they should have explained it better, but I like the idea of the ether becoming activated again. And as they're trying to get it out of there and get it back to Asgard to put it in the safe, because they're like, we got to have this in the vault.
We can't put this out. Yeah,
this isn't safe here. The Dark Elves manifest. Or like awaken. There's a sensor, and I like the idea that they're just kind of, it's Malekith and what is left of the Dark Elves, in orbit. They come down, realize that the ether is still here, which they didn't realize,
right?
And Malekith and the Dark Elves attempt to try to take it from Thor and Bill. Through that whole fight, it gets to a point where they realize that Thor and Bill realize that they just need to get this out of here. They can't win this fight.
There's too many of them.
There's too many of them. How are there this many Dark Elves still?
Yeah, there shouldn't be any.
Yeah. It's like, well, we've had a lot of time to repopulate.
We got
just in hiding.
We got busy. What else are we gonna do for 5,000 years?
Yeah.
Just wait and.
And Thor is talking to Heimdall.
Yeah.
And Heimdall's like, I cannot open the
Bifrost.
I can't send you to Asgard with this many enemies around.
Makes sense.
Like, this is like what you have, this is going to be an unstable rift because you have the ether.
Okay.
I can't send you to Asgard because this might go catastrophically wrong.
Sure. Okay.
And he's like,
realm travel is still wonky since Loki broke the Bifrost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I could probably take it to Earth. I have allies there that could probably keep this safe.
You go to Midgard. Yeah.
We could go to Midgard. And Heimdall's like, I don't think that's a good idea either, but like, it's better. Like, we can't
better here.
Yeah. We cannot we cannot leave like Asgard open. Like, we maintain the peace of the realms. Like, this is too important. And he's like, where do you want to go on Earth? And Thor's like, I don't know the exact place. Just search my heart. You know where I want to go.
Uh-oh.
And Heimdall he's like, okay. He opens up a portal, and we see a Selvig, Darcy, and Jane Foster who are doing experiments about the convergence.
Right.
We learn a little bit more about their understanding of the convergence, and the Bifrost beams down.
Yeah.
And Bill, the Ether, and Thor tumble out, and Darcy's like, "You're an alien." Bill's like, "Yeah."
Good Darcy. Excuse me.
And Thor's like, "I'm technically an alien too." It's like, "Yeah, but you look. I mean,
yeah."
But the problem is that Heimdall was right. Like, the Bifrost is corrupted, and so there are it stays open. It stays shooting
open
down,
enough,
and we get Malekith tumbles out as well.
Oh no!
And then there is a fight between the three of them continuing, and then the ether basically busts open, and in the process of basically Malekith, he in the process of trying to absorb the ether,
right?
While he is Bill stops that transference, but accidentally knocks the ether into Jane.
Makes sense.
And Malekith is pissed, but then Thor it basically knocks him back into the Bifrost, and it's like, Heimdall, you need to turn it off.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I can click, and then sends him back. They send him back to a burnt out Corbinite. They're like, oh crap, and Heimdall's like, well, now that it's in Jane, I could probably,
it's contained.
It's contained.
Well,
I don't think your father's gonna be very happy about this. And then the three of them, he has to convince Jane to come back to Asgard because she's not safe, and she's not thrilled about it.
She's not thrilled about going?
No, she was like, "You just left, dude.
Yeah.
How was I supposed to know you were keeping peace in the Nine Realms? How was I supposed to know? I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. There's a thing called email.
Yeah, they're bipping and they're bapping.
Could have called me. It's 2014, man. Come on now.
And we get back to a very pissed off Odin.
Yeah.
And he understands that he was like, this was so far away from protocol, like someone needs to be punished for this. And eventually he's like, I can't have both of my sons in prison right now. That doesn't look great.
Yes, yeah.
So
that's
Bill,
a good call. Yeah.
Bill has to go to the.
Oh no!
Bill has to go to he goes into the dungeon. His cell is right next to Loki's. And so we get kind of a pretty long conversation, between the two of them, and we kind of explore, you're the brother that my
Thor always wanted.
Yeah, that Thor always wanted, and Beta Ray Bill the whole time. I like the idea of him being so chill and kind of really
Yes, he's
a solid dude.
He is a solid dude.
Beta Ray Bill is a solid dude, and he's like, yeah, but you're the brother he has. Do you know how many times your brother talks about you? And he has the best stories about you. Your brother loves you. You just need to be able to accept it. But you also keep behaving in a way that makes it really difficult for him to love you.
This is a two-way street.
He's but here's the funny thing is that and I think the summation of it is that Beta Ray Bill is the difference is that if I hurt you in any way, I don't think Thor would never talk to me again. If you hurt me, Thor would still figure out a way to love you.
Wow.
That's the difference.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
It's and we also get into the fact, and I think that they can kind of be the foil to each other. It's neither of us really belong here.
Yeah.
But belonging is what you make of it. He's like, I don't technically belong here, but I've chosen to make Asgard my home and defend Asgard.
Yeah.
Belonging is your choice. I just think there's a really interesting foil with this character and Loki.
That's
I think
great.
it's really fun.
Yeah.
And I think we get all the Jane stuff, and we get we get a circumstance where basically the Dark Elves don't just all out attack Asgard. I think they understand what's going on in Asgard, and they slowly start to infiltrate Asgard and make it look like certain races of alien refugees are setting off terrorist attacks in Asgard to sow dissent.
Yeah.
And Odin has gotten to a point where he's all of the.
Because Odin was already a little bit...
Odin was already not on board.
He was not on board.
And Thor is arguing with him. They're all of them are kind of arguing with him. And it gets to a point where, and Frigga is the one that eventually is these people need to stay. Clearly there's something going wrong. And Odin is finally no. Asgard is for Asgardians only. They've got to go. We will find them another planet.
Right.
It's fine. And basically, the Dark Elves use all of the other alien races leaving as their time to invade,
that
because
makes sense. Yeah.
Asgard is too focused on getting all of this done. And Frigga is the one that comes down to Beta Ray Bill in the prisons and is we're getting the Corbinites with all the other alien races are going to have to leave. I think something is wrong. Something is not adding up here. I think I think someone is trying to get to Jane. She's not safe here. As much as Odin thinks he can protect her here, I think the whole idea is Frigga's.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it gets to a point where Frigga is the one when the invasion actually starts happening, when she is trying to like take Bill away, and follow the orders. There's also a conversation she has with Loki at the same time, but they hang a right instead of a left, and he's like, "Where are we going?" And she's like, you've been a huge asset to my son, and I get the feeling he's going to need all the help that he can get." She takes him to the vault, and Beta Ray Bill is given, which is already in the vault, Stormbreaker. He's like, I don't think I'm not worthy of that. And she was like, it's interesting. We can hear what you guys are saying in these cells. And she was like, it's much like you told my son Loki, like, worthiness is a choice. And he dons Stormbreaker, and then like the outfit pops up and it looks kind of Thor-y, and he's like, I'm not trying to cop his style. And she's like, the hammer sees that in you. I don't know what to tell you. And so they are taking, basically, I think Malekith invades, and then through that fight with Beta Ray Bill, Thor, and all of them, I think the same thing similarly comes to pass. Like, Frigga is killed. And Loki, who has been like just knowing that she's gone, like, that's where, again, I think his turn a little bit.
Yep.
But also, like, Beta Ray Bill has kind of
put some cracks in his armor.
Yeah. And eventually, like, I like the idea that I'm combining certain aspects of it. I like the idea that Malekith kills Frigga and definitely gets the ether from Jane in that circumstance.
Whoa, okay.
Like, and she fights him with it, but he's got tricks up his sleeve.
Yes, he's had 5,000 years for this.
And so I really like the idea of him realizing, now that he's been to Midgard and knows how to get there, he makes his way to Midgard to await the convergence.
Sure.
But we get a large conversation between Malekith and Thor, and I think even Frigga while they're fighting. Like, Malekith is like, he's like, he was like, we were just trying to do what you guys ended up doing with everyone else. Like, you took everyone in and gave a home. We were just fighting for a home. He's like, every planet we ever went to, we tried to make a deal with, and they sent us packing. Every place we've tried to go has turned us away. So we had to take.
What else were we gonna do?
What else were we supposed to do? Were we just supposed to die? Like,
yeah,
we've tried to make peace. We've tried to do this the right way. And everyone else that was a victim of us has been welcomed here with open arms. I mean, granted, all it took was just a little bit of pushing, and you guys kind of turned on them. But, like, for 5,000 years, you guys have been a harmony of, have been a home for so many people except us. Like, and you get that, like, oh yeah,
oh
yeah,
he's got a point. Oh boy.
He was like, I am going to use this reality stone. I am not here to destroy you. I am going to use this reality stone at the convergence to merely set it back the way that it was. Everyone's like, oh no. But that also, like, that comes with some, like, I think that's with fight with Frigga. She's like, I don't think you understand what that means. Like, there's so much that has changed from 5,000 years.
Yeah.
Like, that might give you your planet back, but that will hurt a lot of people. And he's like, I can't be concerned about that.
Yeah, that's not my problem.
It's not my problem.
I'm doing this for my people that you've scorned.
Yeah, and so I think we're kind of moving into the third act here, and inevitably, we get a large fight between Beta Ray Bill and Thor, and eventually Loki, who shows up. I think Loki is the one. Loki is the one who inevitably Loki shows up because Loki shows up to trick Malekith into he gets the ether out of Malekith,
Right.
basically. He's like, look, this reality stone is probably going to tear you apart. He's like, I'm a dead man walking, and I would rather than rot in a cell, I would love to be the one to do this for you.
To mess everything up for yeah.
Yeah, this would be great. This would be great for me. You get what you want, and you get to see it. And Malekith's like, absolutely. And then Loki's like, and then Loki tries to, like, Loki basically is like, hey, I'm not doing what he wants to do, but I'm gonna go do what I want to do. And then Thor's like appreciative, but Loki also kind of it's kind of a backstab.
Yes.
But it kind of saves the day in a true Loki way. And then I think there is inevitably a fight between Beta Ray Bill and Loki, and we get more of that dichotomy. And eventually he's like, this is going to happen. Like, the convergence is happening. This is going to happen one way or the other. And so Beta Ray Bill grabs onto Loki and basically just absorbs. He absorbs the ether out of him. And he uses it through the convergence. He uses the reality stone to revive Corbinite and revive the Dark Elf planet. But everything else stays the same. But Beta Ray Bill is obliterated through the process. And Thor is like, no! Like, he basically, all of the planets that, like, the people need to go back to.
Oh my God.
Are restored. But it's not, but he was like, I did my best. I tried to just bring everything back, but not necessarily turn everything back. Like, I think I nailed it. And he's just disintegrating away. Much like, and I think that could be a foreshadowing into what happens with the snap, because I mean, it's really the reality stone that, like, does the actual work. And so he's dusting, and Beta Ray Bill's like,
whoa! Wow! Okay, holy
he was
crap!
I kind of had to, in order to make that happen. Like, I kind of had to, like, he destroys Stormbreaker through the process.
That makes sense.
And he was like, I'm sorry about Stormbreaker. And Thor's like, no, it was yours. It was yours to do with what you will. And so Stormbreaker, is the, like, it empowers him to, like, change the galaxy.
Is able to, yes.
So the Corbinites have their planet back. The Dark Elves have their planet back. And the ether basically is like goes up into the convergence and is gone. Yeah, and then Thor and, like, Malekith escapes. He's like, well, I got what I wanted.
Yep.
Deuces.
Peace. But not peace, because I'm Malekith. You'll see. Right. You rule the day.
And there's some fun things that happen. There's some fun things that can come out of this. Obviously, I think losing Frigga softens Odin's heart. He's like, these planets are yours. Like, we will help you rebuild them if you'd like. You are also more than welcome to stay. Like, if you deem Asgard your home, it is. Because I think going forward, Asgard is inevitably destroyed.
Yes.
And Asgard has to find a new place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so they also seek asylum.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about asylum.
Yeah.
It's all about home is where you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Much like how Guardians is like family is what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the concept of home is very important.
Asgard's
So
not
I
a
think
place, it's a people.
Asgard is not a place, it's a people. And it's not that doesn't necessarily
Don't you
mean,
come in here in my court
and they
quote
don't-
Thor to
doesn't-
me?
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's all Asgardians. You know?
Yeah.
The
The rare She-Hulk reference.
Sorry, I was with you. I just was more like trying not to lose my thought. No, it's totally fine. I think that we had an opportunity in Endgame not to have a big grouping of our heroes, while also simultaneously having a big grouping of our villains as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to think that the mid-credit sequence, or the mid-credit sequence of this movie, is not them taking the ether because it's gone. They're not taking the ether of the collector. This is Malekith approaching the throne of Thanos, being like, I am connected to the reality stone, and I can take you to it. And Thanos being like, I think we can work out I think this can be a great opportunity for both of us. And so, like, adding into, Thanos' Black Army, we get, Dark Elves fighting as well. Also, and if we're going to be going back to in Endgame,
Uh-huh.
going back to Thor 2,
Mm-hmm.
rather than... I really like the idea of him not going to forge Stormbreaker.
Okay.
I like the idea of him going back and borrowing it from Beta Ray.
Oh.
He's like, I will be back. He's like, in your time, I will be back in 5 seconds with this thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need this for a while. And we get a really heartwarming scene and being like, huh, I've seen some weird stuff, bud, but this is okay.
This is one of the weirder ones.
Yeah. And I like the idea of Beta Ray Bill almost being a foil for his mother in that moment. He's like, he was like, I was with your mother when she died. And like, these are the things. And he's like, yeah, Hela broke my hammer. Like, I don't know if I'm worthy. And he's like, worthiness is all about the choice, my man. And he's like, Asgard's on another place. And he's like, Asgard's a people. It's fine. Yeah. You'll always have a home here, bud. And like, just like taps his chest, and he's like, I die, don't I? And Thor's like, yeah, but you save everybody. He's like, that's all I ever really wanted to do.
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah, I'm crying about Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, so like he uses Beta Ray's. I think he eventually goes and forges another one later.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I think. But he uses Beta Ray's hammer to kind of save the day with Thanos.
That's
You know?
awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot my post-credit scene.
Oh, do tell.
It's
Like a post credit. It's like a meta post credit sequence.
Yeah,
of
I'm
this
sorry.
podcast.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
I'm not mad about it at all.
So we find Malekith finally lands somewhere. We don't know where he is. He's just
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where he is. He's just somewhere. And Malekith is seething, right? He's lost. He's in the dark. He's like, ugh. If I couldn't, he says to himself, if I couldn't bend all the realms to, or like I couldn't bring war to the realms and to take our rightful place, then I will bring I will make sure the realms are at war.
Oh.
Which that was not the best way of saying it, but like I'm going to lead towards at some point later in the MCU or the realms.
Yeah,
because that storyline
it's really good.
Is nannerboats.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is it's kind of not quite Endgame level, but like it's Endgame-ish. Like it's everybody on Earth. Like we have to fight all of the bad guys from Thor's slice of the pie. There's a lot of stuff that happens that's crazy in that storyline. And I would love to see, like, whoever is Iron Man at that moment getting
Yeah, that's really cool.
That armor and Spider-Man donning all the there's a lot of really cool stuff from War of the Realms.
Yeah.
And
well, because they world builded Asgard really well, we just didn't get to spend enough time there. Like all of like there's no ground level in Asgard really.
No, there isn't.
They're all pretty big set pieces and big moments, but like we never like the best part of Wakanda is just seeing people living there.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's so many shots of just like, hi, I own a bar in Wakanda. Oh, what's that like? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it is pretty cool. I like that.
Ever had liquor distilled through vibranium?
Vibranium?
Oh boy.
Oh man, if you get a vodka strained through vibranium. Ooh,
the smoothest vodka.
The smoothest vodka.
Right? From Wakandan potatoes? Is that I don't know how vodka is
Wakanda
made.
potatoes. Oh boy.
Oh, sorry, Wakanda.
Wakanda potatoes. just
we're
just
Wakanda potatoes.
Just some farmer like, hey there. Next time you go into the grocery store and you're looking for potatoes, may I suggest Wakanda potatoes? Yeah. Okay. I actually had a lot of fun. I was kind of pissed at you when you gave me that. I was like, this is too hard, and I was like, no, I think Beta Ray Bill is actually a great character.
He is.
I think it could be really fun, and
Well, I mean, I don't know if you are up to date on anything in the MCU, but there was a moment that people are still talking about. I think about a year ago or so in the Thor comics, where Thor is helping Galactus because of a lot of reasons, and he's actually got good reasons why he's helping, but like
Yeah.
everyone else doesn't really quite understand why he's doing it. And at a certain point, he squares off with Beta Ray Bill, and he throws Mjolnir at him, and Bill is able to do the hella catch.
Stop it. Yeah.
And Thor is like, telling him like, you gotta stand down. You got, you're gonna fall, and against, because he's like powered by Galactus. Like,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of power right now.
He's like, I can snap you to death.
Yeah. And Beta Ray Bill has this badass sign that goes, and yet here I stand, as he's just holding the hammer and keeping it from Thor. Is like, everyone's like, yo man, Beta Ray Bill is a bro. This Giga Chad's
Yeah.
holding that
I
hammer.
yeah.
Is like, he's really, really awesome.
I kind of walked away being like, I think I'd really like Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I like this character. It makes no sense.
No.
He's in the origin story. He's not really related to Asgard in any way. Nope. He just like has a hammer and looks like Thor, and everyone's just like, why does that happen? And they're like, I don't know.
He's a chill dude.
I don't know,
Helps
man.
out. Got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't the only Orange Lantern a Corbinite as well?
Oh, I don't know. Larfreeze? I don't know what.
Oh, dude, that's DC.
that
man.
is DC. Yeah.
Wow. Nope.
There's a lot.
They kind of look similar though.
They do look a little
He kind
similar.
of looks like a Corbinite.
They do look a little similar.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Corbinites look like the most advanced race of the pizza aliens from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They kind of look similar. Like if
There are
those
pizza aliens?
pizza aliens, yeah.
I do not remember the pizza aliens.
I think they're in the video game. I don't even know if they're in the comic or anything, but
Pizza aliens?
they kind of look like xenomorphs, but
They do look
kind of have
yeah.
similar faces to. I don't know. Well, we did it, bud.
We
What
did do
What are we
it.
doing next week?
It's October, everybody.
Ooh,
Spooky Scary month. So we're going to start off the month by... Guys, we're going to fix Spawn. Remember that movie?
Oh yeah, man. I've never seen it.
I've only seen it once. It was not great.
Oh, was it
I
not?
loved I have issue number 1. Boy, I
You should
loved
get that
Spawn
signed, man.
back in the day. I don't know when I'd ever see Todd McFarlane.
I don't
But
know.
and also,
Probably could.
there's a lot of... I mean, that they really printed the hell out of that book.
Yeah.
It's in no way special.
Still
Unlike
pretty
other
cool.
number ones.
Still pretty cool though.
But like, yeah, man, Spawn is still going,
Yeah.
and they've expanded that universe a lot. But man, that first movie was like, oh yeah, Spawn, this is gonna be so awesome. The comic's so cool.
I've never
and
seen it.
and it was really not.
I don't
it
know
was
nothing about
bad.
Spawn.
It was a bad movie.
I don't know anything about Spawn.
Well, this is gonna be really interesting because I
Yeah.
know some stuff.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I
Tell
remember
me
some of it.
more stuff.
Well, his real name is Al. He made
Okay.
a deal with a devil, not the devil.
Oh, okay.
He's only got a limited amount of power, and when he uses all of his power, then the deal is broken or is done, and he's then a denizen of hell for the rest of eternity.
Huh.
But he went back for vengeance against the guy who killed him and went after his wife.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a whole personal thing, and then like all these like angels are getting involved, and like bad U.S. government people. Like it's like there's just so much stuff happening. He's got his cool ass cape and chains going everywhere. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff with Spawn, and the world's really cool. But like it gets so crazy. It's like I think I'm done. Okay, There's a lot. I'm good, thank you. And there's different Spawns throughout time. Like there was medieval Spawn and like lady Spawn. There's like so many cool Spawns. It's a really good idea.
All right.
So there's a lot out there. Is what
I'm
I'm saying.
excited looking for. If you're watching this live or listening to this live, I'll be doing the live watch along on. Yeah, we can't issue challenges on this one.
No,
I don't know.
that wouldn't
None
be
of
fair.
us
We
know
don't
even know
We
anything
don't know
about
enough
this.
to challenge.
But yeah, on Wednesday at 8 p.m., I'll be doing this. I'll be watching this along on the Discord if you want to come join.
I think it's on the Max.
I think it must be.
I think it's on
I would
the
imagine
HBO
so.
Max. I believe it's there.
But I think we've reached that part of the episode, my man. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, do that YouTube that you do so well. And if you're listening to this just in the audio format, if you wouldn't mind, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a quick review, maybe giving us 5 stars. It just makes me happy. I like reading those. They're so kind. And tell your friends about the show, or we'll find you. So you better
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay. Sticking with it.
Yep.
Yes and. Yes and. Yeah.
Violence. We're choosing it. All right, guys. As we end every one of these episodes, heartbreak feels good. in a place like this.
It's the slow, like, what was it? Like a black hole grenade?
Black hole nade, won't you come and wash away your Thor? Black hole nade, won't you come? Won't you come?
Won't you come?
Black hole nade. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.